the airport. It is 9 o'clock in the morning, and Mr. Haddad is waiting at the Kansas City airport. He is waiting for an airplane to arrive from Florida, but because it is snowing and cold outside, the flight is delayed. It is hot in the airport because there are many people. Some people are waiting, some people are buying tickets, and some people are walking with suitcases and speaking on cell phones. Mr. Haddad is sitting in a seat in front of big windows. He is watching the airplanes in the gray sky and the men working outside in the snow. They are wearing orange pants, orange jackets, and winter hats, and they are putting suitcases in the airplanes. It is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Mr. Haddad walks to the cafe to get a sandwich. He buys a sandwich and coffee, but there are people sitting at all the tables. A husband and his wife are sitting at a table with 4 chairs. Mr. Haddad walks to their table. "Excuse me," he says, "can I sit at your table? There are no more chairs or tables in the restaurant." "Are you arriving, departing, or waiting?" the woman asked Mr. Haddad. "I am waiting for my son," he says. "We're waiting for our daughter," says Mrs. Smith. "My name is Mike Smith, and this is my wife Isabella," says the man. "Nice to meet you. My name is Bertrand Haddad." "Nice to meet you, Mr. Haddad." "It's a cold day today," says Mr. Haddad. "Yes," says Mr. Smith, "but the newspaper says it's going to be sunny on Saturday." It is 5:15 in the afternoon. Mr. Haddad is watching the televisions in the airport. There are many delayed flights, but the flight from Florida is arriving in 5 minutes. He waits for his son near the door leading to the airplane. His son has not visited for 2 months. The door opens, and people walk off the airplane. Mr. Haddad watches the people coming from the airplane. His son Louis is walking with a young woman with red hair. Mr. Haddad hugs his son. "Welcome home," he says. "Thank you, Dad," says his son, "and this is my friend Amy." "Nice to meet you, Amy," says Mr. Haddad. Before Amy can speak, Mr. and Mrs. Smith walk up to them and hug her. "Mr. Haddad," Amy says, "these are my parents." "Mike and Isabella Smith," says Mr. Haddad. "Mr. Haddad," says Mrs. Smith. "We meet a second time," says Mr. Haddad. I am driving. "Mom, I'm visiting my friends in Seattle today." "I can drive you, John. Where are my car keys?" "I have the car keys, Mom, because today I am driving." "You are driving?" "Yes, I am 16 years and 1 day old today, Mom. I can drive." "You don't need me in the car. You are 16 years old and I don't need to be in the car with you. Good. You have the keys? The car is in the garage." John is driving in the car. "I'm driving. It is a hot summer day and there are no cars on the streets. I'm driving in the woods. There are tall trees and small houses with sheets on the clothesline. Children are playing soccer in the park. I'm driving and I smell the flowers of summer. My hands are on the steering wheel. I'm 16 years old and I'm driving." Johnny Appleseed. Johnny is eating an apple in the living room of his house. He is 18 years old, but his clothes are older. It's cold and snowing outside, but Johnny is not wearing shoes. In the bedroom, his younger brother and sister are sleeping. The year is 1892, and many people in the United States do not have bread or milk, but Johnny has apples to eat. Johnny can give them seeds. This he can do. He can teach people to put the seeds under the grass so they can have apple trees. "Wake up," he says to his brother. "Wake up, sister." His brother and sister are sitting on their beds. Johnny has 3 apple seeds in his hand. "This is going to be the first apple tree in Ohio," he says. "And this second seed is going to be the first apple tree in Indiana. And this third apple seed is going to be the first apple tree in Illinois." They listen to Johnny and they study the apple seeds. Today, he is going to walk with his brother and sister to Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. He wants hungry people to have apples to eat. Johnny walks and walks for many years. He drinks the water from lakes and he cooks in a pot. He has his seeds and he speaks to people and he eats his apples. People give Johnny money and bread and new clothes, but he likes to wear old clothes, no shoes, and his pot for a hat. Johnny walks and gives seeds and walks. Today, there is a Johnny Appleseed Park in Indiana, and in the fall you can eat apples from the trees. A dog in the city.
It's a cloudy day in the city. Maria and Rob are on a bus with Maria's father. Wilson the dog is with them. They're going to play in the park. The bus doors open. People are getting off the bus. Outside, a man is selling hot dogs and pretzels. It smells good. More people get on, but Wilson isn't on the bus. Oh no! Where did he go? Maria and Rob are getting off the bus. They're running on the street. The bus doors are closed. The bus departs. Maria's father is still on the bus. Oh no! Maria and Rob need to find Wilson. They're walking in the city. There's a museum, but he isn't in the museum. There's a dog outside a cafe. Is that Wilson? Asks Rob. No, that's a brown dog. Remember, Wilson is black and white, says Maria. Oh yeah, says Rob. There's a man with a suitcase outside of a hotel. There's a woman in a taxi. There's a line of people at the post office, but no dogs. A train is going by. Is that a dog on the train? Is that Wilson? No, silly. That's a yellow dog. Maria's dad is on the street. He isn't happy. There you are. Why did you get off the bus? Where's Wilson? He's not with us. We can't find him, Maria says. Oh, no. They are walking, walking, and walking. It's raining, and they don't have umbrellas. Wilson! Wilson? Where are you? They're wet and they're tired. They go to the post office. They go to the restaurant. They go to the hotel. But there's no Wilson. Maria is sad. Rob is sad. Maria's father is sad. They go to the park. There's a black and white dog waiting in the park. He's eating a hot dog. It's Wilson! Wilson is at the park, and it's not raining. They're all happy. They're walking to the bus stop with Wilson. Dad, can we get hot dogs too? Yes, but first we need to pay the man for Wilson's hot dog.
Number 60 for Babe Ruth. Good afternoon. It's September 30th, 1927, and I'm speaking to you from Yankee Stadium in New York. The New York Yankees and the Washington Senators are playing today, and this is the biggest game of the year. It's cold and cloudy this afternoon, but there are 10,000 people in Yankee Stadium. All of them are waiting to watch Babe Ruth. People love to watch Babe Ruth play. And there he is, the Babe! The Babe is walking to home plate. He stands beside home plate, waiting, and he watches Tom Zachary, the pitcher of the Senators. The men, standing on the baseball field, all watch the Babe. Babe watches the sky. He waits, watches the clouds, watches the people in the stadium, and now he walks to home plate. The Babe is waiting for Tom Zachary, watching Tom Zachary. A man is walking beside the seats, selling drinks and hot dogs, but not one person in the stadium is eating or speaking. Some are sitting, some are standing, but they are all watching Babe Ruth. And outside the stadium, many people are listening to the game on radios. They are not in the stadium because they do not have tickets, but they are at the game. And in New York, many people are sitting outside in the streets, eating hot dogs and listening to the game on the radio. In the parks and all of the restaurants in New York, people are listening to the game. And in many cities in the United States, more people are listening to the game. They want to be at the stadium, but they live too far from New York. But they listen to the radio and they wait for the Babe. Babe has his bat and is waiting for pitcher Tom Zachary. Tom Zachary has the baseball in his left hand and... Oh! The ball is in the sky! The ball is in the sky! Babe is running to first base, to second base. The ball is in the sky! All of the people in the stadium and in the streets are standing. And the ball is over the wall, in the seats, and the Babe is running to third base, to home plate. A man is standing beside his seat with the ball in his hand. Babe Ruth has hit 60 balls over the wall in 1 year. 60! 60 home runs in 1 year. The most home runs in 1 year. The Babe is at home plate, and that is number 60 for Babe Ruth.
The Man Wearing Purple. It's a sunny afternoon in Chicago. Isaac and Wendy are waiting for the train to the museum. Wendy has her purple backpack with water and snacks. They're going to the museum. Wendy doesn't want to go to the museum. She wants to go to the park. But Isaac doesn't like the park. A tall man is waiting for the train near Wendy and Isaac. He's wearing a big purple hat, a purple t-shirt, and a purple backpack. "We have the same backpack," Wendy says to the man. "It's purple." "Yes," the man says. "I like purple. All my clothes are purple." "I can see you like purple," Wendy says, smiling. "But why?" "I wear purple when I go to the park. It's easy for my friends to see me." The train arrives. Isaac and Wendy take seats inside. The man wearing purple is sitting near them. There are many people on the train. Some people are sitting, but most of them are standing. Isaac is smiling. "Do you have our tickets to the museum?" "Yes," Wendy says. "They're in my backpack. What stop do we take? Do you have the map?" "No," Isaac says. "I don't have the map." Wendy says, "Excuse me, Purple Man?" "My name is Victor," the man says. He is not smiling. "Oh, yes," Wendy says. "Victor, what stop do we take for the museum?" "It's too sunny to be in a museum," Victor says. "I am going to the park. It's the third stop." "I want to go to the park too," Wendy says. "But Isaac wants to go to the museum. What stop is it?" "The fourth stop." "Thank you." The train is going fast. Isaac and Wendy are watching from the window. They see many stores, a post office, a big bank, a baseball stadium, and a theater. There are many people outside on the street. Chicago is a big city. Isaac and Wendy get off at the fourth stop. They walk to the museum. There is a big line. They are standing at the museum door. "Oh no," Wendy says. "This isn't my backpack." "It's Victor's backpack," Isaac says. "It was sitting near your backpack on the train. What can we do?" "He is going to the park. We can meet Victor there. His purple clothes are easy to see." Wendy walks up to a woman. "How do we get to the park?" "It is not far," the woman says. "Turn left on the first street and turn right on the second street. It's less than a mile." Isaac and Wendy run to the park. They run past the library and go on the walking bridge. From the bridge, they can see a lake and a park. The park has many tall trees. There are people eating lunch and sleeping in the sun. Isaac and Wendy are on the walking bridge, watching all the people. "There he is," Wendy says. "There is Purple Man." "His name is Victor," Isaac says. Victor is sitting under a tree. They can see the purple backpack. They run to the tree. "He is sleeping," Isaac says. They don't want to wake Victor, so Wendy takes her backpack and leaves his backpack near the tree. "Time for the museum," Wendy says. But Isaac is watching the orange and yellow fish swimming in the lake. The sun is on his face. The water is blue like the sky. "This is nice," Isaac says. "We can go to the museum tomorrow."
Get me to the stadium on time. Mateo, Kendra, and Vlad are on the train going to the big city. They are with the robotics team. They have their robot in a big suitcase. Today is the day of the robotics fair. Mr. Simpson, their teacher, says, "We're going to get in line for the second bus when the train stops. The bus departs 3 minutes after the train arrives. You have to be outside in front of the station at 9 o'clock. Kendra looks at her watch. It's 8:45. "We're getting near," she says. The train is in the city. They watch from the window. The city museum is on their left and the city library on their right. After 10 minutes, the train arrives at the station. All the students depart from the train. Mr. Simpson is walking them to the bus stop. Vlad says, "I need to go to the restroom. 2 cups of coffee with my breakfast this morning is 1 cup too many." "Kendra and I can wait for you," says Mateo. Mateo and Kendra wait for Vlad beside a big map on the station wall. Kendra looks at the map. "This is a city map. All the streets are on it," Kendra says, "and it has the stops for all the trains and buses in the city." Vlad comes up to them. "Thank you for waiting for me," he says. He looks at his watch. "Oh no, it's 2 minutes before 9 o'clock. We have to get to the bus stop fast." The students run to the bus stop in front of the station. The bus is not there. "Oh no," says Vlad, "we're not going to get to the robotics fair on time." "Can we walk there?" says Mateo. "No, it's going to take too much time." "Wait, we can get there on time," says Kendra. She is reading the big wall map in the train station. After studying the map, Kendra says, "I have it. First, we need to take the red subway line to the 4th stop. After that, we can take the yellow streetcar to the stadium." The clock on the wall near the city map reads 15 minutes after 9 o'clock. "We have to go," says Mateo. "The subway train is going to depart in 2 minutes." The students are running on the street to the subway station. They go down the stairs under the street. They buy their tickets and wait for the subway train. At 9:17, the subway train arrives and they all take a seat. "We're going to the robotics fair," says Vlad. "But first we have to get off at the right stop," says Mateo. After 4 stops, the students get off the train. They go up the stairs to the street. There is a sign at the streetcar stop. It reads, "Streetcar delayed 6 minutes." "Can we get there in time?" Kendra looks at her watch. "It's 9:40. It's going to take 11 minutes for the streetcar to drive to the stadium. From there, we can walk. Walking fast, we can get to the stadium at 10 o'clock. The streetcar arrives at 9:46 and the students get on. It drives up the street on tracks like a slow train. The stadium is straight ahead. There it is! The streetcar arrives at the stadium stop. Mateo is the first one outside with his suitcase. Vlad and Kendra are right behind. They are running like horses to get to the stadium. Mr. Simpson is there, inside the stadium. "There you are," he says. He has his cell phone in his hand. "I was going to call the police." It's 10 o'clock on the big clock inside the stadium. It's time for the robotics fair.
The blue cars. In the living room of a house in New York, 3-year-old Bobby is playing with his toys. Bobby loves his blue cars. His mother Nancy is sitting at the table reading a newspaper. Bobby's sister Amy is in her room. She is departing for Brazil today to visit the beach. Her suitcase is in the living room. A suitcase is a toy for a young boy. Bobby walks to the suitcase. His small hands play with the metal and the plastic on the big new toy. The suitcase is a good home for his cars, but there are books and sunglasses, clothes and papers inside. Bobby, don't play with my suitcase, says Amy. Mom, I need to go. My airplane departs at 4:40. Nancy says, Bobby, this is not a toy for you. Amy, what time is it? It's 3 o'clock. Can you take me to the airport? Yes, says Nancy. Do you have your sunglasses and your clothes for the beach? Yes, Mom. Do you have your airplane ticket? Asked Nancy. Yes, it's in my suitcase. Can we go? At the airport. Hello, says the woman at the airport. Welcome to Air Brazil. Can I have your ticket, please? Yes, it's in my suitcase, says Amy. What is this? Oh, no. I have toy cars in my suitcase, but no ticket. Bobby!